My name's Arielle Loewen, and this is the gym that got me third place at the CrossFit Games. Let's take a tour. So Dylan, my husband, built this house. When we bought the floor plans for it, originally this was supposed to be the garage for his truck. So we made it a little bit bigger and a little bit more space. And then one thing led to another, and it became a home gym. And it's pretty perfect. So we'll start with this section. First thing is a glass garage door. This is probably my favorite little piece because in the winter, like today, it's actually pretty cold. I can still see outside and like have something to look at instead of it being trapped in a dungeon. So I get to creep on the neighbors a little bit while I'm working out. It's pretty fun. I've got my rower, I've got my echo bike, and I've got my steer. I kind of just have to move them around whenever I need to do stuff, kind of like playing Tetris. Dylan is very particular. He wouldn't let me do handstands on the wall because these are new walls. So he built me this fancy handstand wall out of cedar wood and plexiglass. So whenever I have to do wall walks, handstand push-ups, I'll literally just kick up and then my feet don't get the walls dirty. Whenever I do handstand push-ups at the games, it's always on plexiglass. So it's kind of a nice way to get used to that. And you can see we've already made it a mess. So if that would have been on the wall, I would have been in big trouble. And also, when he was making the plexiglass wall, he cut a hole in the back, so it's hollow. So this is where I store my rope to do rope climbs in the gym. So I actually trained for the games using a rope this long. Anytime I need to do rope climbs, they're always seated, legless up, legless down. So I'm always starting here. I'll climb it up as high as I can and then control it back down. And it does the job. Over here we've got this beautiful rig. This part of the rig I actually bought for Dylan back in 2012, so it's almost 11 years old. And he used to live with his dad, and for the longest time, he hung a barbell on it and just stored his clothes on it. Because he wasn't really a big workouter, and I was like, hey, try this rogue rig. And so for half its life, it's hung clothes. The other half, we've put it to work here in the home gym. This past year, when we built the home gym, we bought these 2 spieler bars. And then Dylan just put this wood on the wall, painted black. So we have just a little bit more pull-up space. Over here, we've got our weight vests. Some from the games, some that I've just bought. This box is a Mother's Day present, 1 year from Dylan. We've kind of just slowly bought stuff and accumulated stuff throughout the years. Handstand walk obstacle, somebody was nice enough and donated to me to practice for the games. Thought that was really nice of them. This picture needs to get hung up, but it was from my first ever regionals back in 2014. Legless rope climbs, and they got a full shot, and the first gym I ever went to gifted it to me as a good job for getting to regionals type thing. I've got my 3 sandbags over here. This one is 114 pounds, 150 pounds, and 125 pounds. We kind of just filled them up as much sand would go in them. That's why this is such an odd number, and so is that one. And then this one's just an odd object sandbag. I noticed this past year at the games, they used a lot of awkward sized sandbags. So I recently purchased that one after the games, just to get used to it. This barbell, my strength coach actually just gave it to me. I have yet to use it, but he said it's the hardest barbell to squat in or do anything in because the weights are lower, so you have to engage more stuff. So I'm gonna mess around with that probably in a month or so. Got the extra awkward sandbag, 3 barbells. This is a shorty bar, girls bar, and then a really nice men's bar. I actually was gifted all 3 of these barbells. Just super nice of the people who gave them to me. A Matador, pretty easy from Rogue. All of our dumbbells, you'll notice our storage, we try and keep everything on the wall. It's pretty small in here, so the more we can store stuff, better. You guys know who this is. I have a lot of people message me on Instagram and they're like, I see someone creeping behind you, but they're always talking about my face. My sister always makes these when we go to the games, so I think that's pretty funny. Storage system, all the kettlebells. We actually have, I call him one member, his name's Bob, the accountant. He works out with us in the evening. He gifted us a 70-pound kettlebell for Christmas. So this is the newest gym edition. This is fun. They gave us this last year at Wadapalooza. It's pretty fitting. I like to keep it in the gym because it's kind of like a little trophy and it looks pretty cool. And this is probably my favorite part of the gym. These are not all of my signs. We haven't hung up 2023 season yet. This is pretty funny too. Last year we went to add on to it because I got 3rd place as a team at Wadapalooza. So I was like, okay, let's start hanging stuff up. Let's hang up this medal. And Dillon uses a stud finder and he sees that like, okay, something's back there. So he puts a nail in and the next thing we hear is just and water starts coming out. He straight up put a nail in our water line. And then after that, I think he's like, okay, we're not gonna hang up any more things. Yeah, over here, I love my whiteboard. This is where I write all my workouts, cross them off whenever I'm done. Life changer. I used to hang all of my markers like this, but they would dry out really fast. You hang them upside down, they last twice as long. And then I've got my sunglasses if I need to go for a run quick. I just grab those. My remote timer. Show you, these are the rings. These are where I do my ring muscle ups. I use them at least once a week. Everybody always says, like, are you gonna hit your head on the ceiling? It has never happened yet. I don't think I'm tall enough for that. But this is where I do my ring muscle ups. I actually don't ever use these rings. This is like the one thing that's Blakely's in the gym. And if you don't know, this is the future champ. She does gymnastics. Blakely, and she's 4 years old. In about a week or so, she'll be 5. Well, I'm a big 5-year-old, but you'll see her in the back playing a lot. Whenever it's time for me to get to work, get to business, and work out, she's not allowed in the gym, but whenever I'm warming up or stretching, she's always allowed in here to have some fun. So the plan was never train for the games in the home gym. It just worked out beautifully and perfectly and seamlessly, and now I'm addicted. The only time I'll go to a gym in town, it's called Hit for Fit. They're amazing. If I need, like for quarterfinals, I needed more handstand walk space, or I needed a higher rope climb, 15 foot, I will go to that gym to comply with the standards. But other than that, I would rather handstand walk out here on the concrete than give up my piece of the home gym. As you can tell, the home gym is pretty small. It can only fit me and my training partner Joelle. If you want to, I'll introduce you to him in the next YouTube video. People have always asked me, like, can I train with you? And honestly, I have to say no, because it literally only fits 2 people. So after the games, me and Dillon had a great year. Him business-wise, me, my business-wise. So we had the awesome opportunity to build a bigger gym.
We decided to build this shop here. It's 40 by 100. One section is going to be for my personal business because I've been struggling with garage doors, as you can see behind me. And the other part's going to be her personal gym, which will be a 40 by 50 box, which is 2,000 square feet. And then we're going to have a section of it that's actually going to be built into my personal workshop, where we're going to have a cold plunge and sauna, and another section just for storage to put all the dumbbells and boxes and wall balls and all that good stuff, so we can really have a clean space to work out of, a nice perfect little square. And then we'll just have a small little office where we'll probably supply some of the stuff that Arielle's sponsored with, proteins, some of the apparel that she has, so we can provide some things for our members that are going to come and want to work out with Arielle. So big picture is to have 60 members, maybe like 5 classes throughout the day, with 10 or 12 in each one, kind of just depending. We're gonna play with that as time goes, but we have a lot of people in the community that want to come and be a part of Arielle's journey in CrossFit, so we decided to do like a little rich Froning barn, and this will be our barn.
One thing I've been missing this year is community. I've loved working out alone, but I have more friends like who live in Canada or live all over the US that I do here in Midland that I'm in a community with. So we'd love to ideally open this up to the public and have 50 to 60 members, keep it small, keep it cute, and then I can train rope climbs a little bit better, handstand walks a little bit better. So the goal is for this to be done and completed in its entirety as soon as the games are over, and then we'll get rolling to getting members in and all that. So that's a sneak peek of what's to come.